Welcome to our class. We are here to present to you our web application. Without further ado, let's jump straight in. Have you ever wondered what happens if you're overstressed? According to Kisi's Work-Life Balance Index, Singapore is the second most overworked city in the world. Overworking leads to stress and work-life imbalances, which might lead to depression and mental health issues. Okay, next. The solution we came up with to tackle this issue is Hourglass. We aim to nudge users towards optimal time management by analyzing the user's calendar and determining their level of commitment for the week. Furthermore, we hope to provide relaxation for them to de-stress through simple games, quizzes, and videos for them to watch. We prepared our website in a visually attractive and interactive manner using HTML, PHP, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Vue.js, and jQuery. For our data store, we used a local MySQL database. Next. For our design, we leveraged large chunks of content for simple presentation and navigation. For the style, we use large friendly typography and simple interfaces. And for the colors, we used navy and teal as our primary and secondary colors respectively to evoke a sense of calm. Next. Here are our workflow diagram and our web architecture. Now we'll pass on the time to Fu Wei.
Coming to the technologies that our team used for our project, we made use of CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Vue.js, jQuery, MySQL, and PHP. We used CSS and Bootstrap for styling and to ensure responsiveness. We also made use of DOM manipulation in various parts of our web page, like for example, the video section, game section, and the homepage as well. Also, we use Axios CDN and Vue.js to fetch APIs from the web. Lastly, for backend, we made use of MySQL and PHP for user login authentication. Next. Now I'll be going into the details of how we use these technologies to make our web page dynamic and interactive. So when the user logs in, he'll be greeted based on his username. This is done with session management and Vue.js to dynamically retrieve his username to display on the homepage. By calling various APIs, we retrieve the location, time, and weather information using IP address, and Google Calendar information using the user's Gmail address. All these are then displayed using Vue.js. Of course, the homepage is fully responsive using Bootstrap's grid system, and the cards will align properly based on the user's screen size. So with the user's calendar information, we were then able to use JavaScript to calculate and determine the user's workload. D3.js is then used to interactively display the results with a dynamic speedometer. Now I'll be talking about our game section. For our game, our team figured out how to code the simple snake game using JavaScript from the help of online resources. However, the base game was way too simple, and our team decided to improve on the game by adding various functions. We first added a simple scoring system that keeps track of the current and the high score. We did this by using DOM manipulation to update the score and an if condition to update the high score when necessary. Initially, the game size was static, and we had to figure out how to make the game responsive without breaking it. By using window.innerWidth, we were able to get the width of the user's layout, and by using a resize event listener, we were able to call our resizing function whenever there's a change in the view size. Our resizing function uses an if condition that checks the width of the user screen, and together with DOM manipulation to directly change both the size of the canvas and the game. We also added buttons to the game to give users two choices of control. Either their arrow keys on their keyboard or the on-screen buttons. The buttons uses on-click and functions to control the movement of the snake. Lastly, to add a little bit of flair to the game, we added color inputs to allow the user to freely select a color for both the snake and the food. This is done by using onInput to detect the selection of a color and DOM manipulation to update the fields. Now I'll pass my time over to Ambrose.
The quiz and video pages are relatively simpler than the game page, but nevertheless make liberal use of JavaScript's DOM manipulation and APIs. For the quiz page, An Axios library is used to retrieve quiz categories and questions from the quiz API to dynamically display them. The answer buttons are also dynamically change color and disable themselves when clicked, all via DOM manipulation. The same technique is also used to show quiz scores and update background colors at the end of the quiz. For the video page, DOM manipulation is once again used to change the values of the iframe element to change the YouTube playlists being called. We use 5 APIs for the web app. An IP geolocation API retrieves our geolocation from the IP and sends it to the Open Weather API to return weather conditions. The Google Calendar API provides us with calendar functionality and the user's calendar data. YouTube iframe embeds YouTube videos and retrieves the playlists via DOM. Finally, the Quiz API retrieves quiz questions, answers, and categories from the Open Trivia database. For Beyond the Lab, we used d3.js to power our dynamic speedometer in the calendar, GitHub for collaboration over code work, and finally, Figma for wireframing and pre-production design. And now, we're going to give you a demo run of our web app.
John is a third-year SMU student. He is constantly bombarded by project deadlines and lessons to attend. He heard about the Hourglass website from his friends and decided to try it out. When he arrives at Hourglass, he scrolls to find out more about the website. Fascinated by Hourglass, John signs up and logs in using his Google account. After logging into the website, he scrolls down to check his schedule, which is retrieved from his Google Calendar. On the right side, he noticed that the weather forecast that it's about to rain soon. As such, he decided to take a break and stay at home. He clicks on the View Workload Status button to check his workload, where he was prompted for his Google account. He then sees that for the next 7 days, he has 59 hours of tasks. Feeling stressed, he scrolls down and proceeds to check out the 3 buttons under the stress section. He decided to play some games. On this page, he checks out the instructions by clicking on how to play. Then he changes the snake color to his favorite color, yellow, and the food color to white before playing the game. Satisfied with his high score, he proceeded to click on the question mark icon to play some quiz. As a music enthusiast, he decided to challenge himself with a music quiz. Dissatisfied with his quiz results, he decided to get back to work. And he logs out of the website. The next day, John wanted to watch the news and relax after taking a break from his work, and he decided to log into Hourglass. He navigates to the video page. Where he looks for the Asia News button. After watching the news, he was ready to get back to work, and he selects the Lo-Fi Beats study button to listen to while doing work. At the end of the day, John felt less stressed as he had great music to accompany him while working, and he went to sleep with a smile on his face. We have come to the end of the app demonstration, and this is how Hourglass aims to solve the issue of stress and overworking in Singapore. We thank you for your precious time.